La crisis financiera y la inestabilidad global van para largo. Alexander Ibrahim es vicepresidente del New York Stock Exchange para América Latina, Bermudas y el Caribe. Él asegura que la volatilidad y la incertidumbre en los mercados seguirá por mucho tiempo. Advierte que mientras esta situación no cambie, en sus intenciones por realizar sus ofertas públicas de acciones y así salir a financiarse en las bolsas de valores.
Well, the moment is extremely volatile. As you know, the situation in Europe hopefully will get resolved in the next few weeks. But still, even when the situation is resolved, there is a volatility in the market that I think, in my opinion, will continue for a period of time. And that has impacted a lot of deals coming from Latin America into the US markets and also affecting deals that are in the US markets because the IPO markets completely shut down. And we are hoping that the moment things stabilize in Europe and the US, we're starting to see some US companies tapping the market, and that will open the opportunity for Latin American issuers to access the US capital markets. We are working with about 9 companies from the region, companies from Uruguay, Argentina, Peru, Chile, and other markets that are considering doing initial public offerings in the US, but at this moment they are just waiting and see. I think the moment that the market opens up, things get a little bit more stable, those companies will tap the US capital markets.
Ante este oscuro panorama, el vicepresidente del NYSE dice que los mercados de América Latina deben aprovechar la oportunidad que representan las malas perspectivas que tienen los mercados de Estados Unidos, Europa y Japón. Las empresas latinoamericanas ya tienen un tiempo siendo muy atractivas para los inversionistas globales. Dice él, en el primer semestre de 2006 se invirtieron en compañías de la región $120 mil millones, mientras ahora en el primer trimestre de 2011 se han invertido $500 mil millones, y México no es la excepción.
Local stock exchange has done a phenomenal job attracting new issuers to the market. As you can see, many Mexican companies in the last few years have listed locally and access the international investors by what's called 144A Reg S. I think the market here is very dynamic. There are great companies here in Mexico that a listing in the local market could help them finance their needs and also even help them with M&A transactions and to grow their business not only in Mexico, but into other areas in Central America, even into the US markets. I think Latin American issuers, they have to be very keen in promoting themselves within the investor community in the US and Europe. They have to do roadshows, they have to be in front of the investors because they are operating in a market that is projected to grow about 5.5% this year and maybe 4.5% next year. So it's extremely attractive for US and European investors and Asian investors, let's say global investors, to look at this asset class that is located in Latin America. And as you know, we have about 90 companies from Latin America that are listed with us on the New York Stock Exchange, but I do believe there are many more companies that would benefit tremendously for being listed with us because there is enough demand coming from the investor community over there to support future IPOs and transactions coming to the US market. I think the market here in LATAM is extremely strong, and I believe in the next year or so we'll see more and more companies coming into the US market for a listing.
Para atraer no solo a más empresas, sino a más personas y familias para que inviertan en los mercados de valores, Ibrahim dice que se debe apostar a la educación financiera.
Education is extremely important. The NYSE is engaged in many different initiatives to educate the market, to educate the population about investing in an exchange, understand the equities culture, and we have spent a lot of time bringing teachers to the exchange. We have a website dedicated to educate people. We have done classes outside the exchange to make sure that we transmit this idea of equities culture not only for the very large institutions, but also to the small investor that does not have access or does not understand the benefits of investing, owning shares as part of their investment for the future. So we do a lot of programs like that. We're starting to see more and more in Latin America exchange engaged in this type of programs. The exchange have done a phenomenal job promoting this idea of equities culture to attract investors, not only the big guys, the big pension funds and big fundos, but also the retail investor. Juan and Maria, that lives here in Mexico City, they never had the opportunity to buy shares in the local market. They are now, entering the market because they trust what the market has done, and also because there is enough liquidity so that they can go in and out.
Con imágenes de Juan Manuel Navarro, para El Financiero TV, Genaro Mejía.